You're watching Let's Chat.
We always love spending a few minutes with June Puett. Of course, that's a familiar name. June is the extension agent here for the University of Tennessee Extension Office in Hamilton County. June, good to see you as always.
Good morning.
Before we go any further, June, you've got somebody you want to wish a happy birthday to, correct?
I do. Happy birthday, Marie Moyers, one of my mentors. She turned 90 last Thursday.
Wow.
I'm having lunch with her today. And she made sure that I taught people how to can the correct way.
So you learned from one of the masters.
I did.
Canning, just hearing that term can be a little bit intimidating if you don't know anything about it. What do we need to learn? What are the 3 easy things to begin our trip to canning with?
Okay, probably make sure you get the correct source of information.
Yeah.
And we partner with USDA, and every university has information. I've brought a couple of our publications that I'll talk about in our canning classes, and you can also go to the website and find information how to download these for free.
All right.
Also, go to a place where they're teaching it correct, like
Right.
our classes.
And there you get to experience the hands-on. You don't just watch a video. You don't just hear somebody telling you about it. You actually get to see it done. What is the difference between this pot here and the one you have over here?
Well, it depends on what you want to can. That one's just a big pot with a rack in the middle and the bottom to prevent your jars from touching the bottom of a hot pan. That's for canning your high acid foods, things like your jam, jellies, and pickles.
Right.
But if you want to get into the vegetables or meats, you're going to need the pressure. And you've probably seen one of these canners with the valves, and they're going to have some kind of gauge up on top.
Right.
That'll help you measure the pressure as well as the temperature, because it takes both of those to get the temperature up enough to kill the bacteria in those low acid foods.
And safety is obviously a paramount concern when you're dealing with this whole process of canning. Periodically going to yard sales, estate sales, you see items like this. Is it a good idea to buy them from those places, or do we need to go get them brand new at the store?
I would say new, Chip, because people have been, and I love to recycle, but people have been bringing in some canners that we couldn't even find a way to test them. And if you're using a pressure canner before the 70s, it's not going to have the safety valves built in too.
Good point, good point. And again, going back to the safety being paramount, it's not just for the possibility of any of the foodborne illness. These things can blow and put a hole in your ceiling.
Not if you do it right.
Not if you do it right. But if you
No.
have one of the older ones that doesn't have the pressure valve on it.
It could. And those are things that were so heavy and so thick, it takes a really long
Right.
time to get the heat up on those too. So you may want to invest. They're not that expensive.
If you're just starting out on the road to canning your produce or your neighbors or stuff you buy at the grocery store or what have you, if you're just starting out, what's one of the easier foods to do?
Jams, jellies, and pickles, because those are high acid, so they're only going to require processing in a water bath for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
And Chip, in our class, we're going to demonstrate some products that you don't even have to process, some things like refrigerator pickles and freezer jams.
All right, very quickly on the other side of that coin, what are some of the more difficult foods to can and preserve that you definitely need to have a few classes under the belt for?
Yeah, things like soups and stews, because you have to be really careful, and you're going to process those for the ingredient that requires the longest time. Like corn is usually one of those, requires a long time to process in a pressure canner.
When is the next round of classes as it pertains to canning and preserving?
Well, we have 4 canning classes coming up. The first one is July 11th, and it's about full. And then we've added freezing classes, Chip, because not everybody wants to get out a big canner, but everybody freezes. So we talked to them about how to do it efficiently. So we have them spread out all through the summer.
Is there a cost to these classes?
There's $20 fees, and we will do some sampling, and you're going to get every resource you ever need successfully can and freeze your foods.
Wow. And again, safety is of the utmost concern, not just for you, but for your loved ones that you're sharing all these goodies with. June Puett, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you joining us as well. Once again, here's the information on the canning and freezing classes. July 11th, 15th, 20th, and August the 8th. The freezing classes, July 13th and August 10th. Find out more by calling 209-8560 or go to hamilton.tennessee.edu. hamilton.tennessee.edu. That's all of our time for this edition of Let's Chat. See you here at noon.